I love seeing you in your element here. I know you're gonna make something.
Yes. So right now we're gonna make just a quick daiquiri with Cihuatan, Salvadoran rum, since we're all talking about Salvadoran culture.
And I know that there's different kinds of Salvadoran rum. So which one are you using for this one?
It's like our newest rum. It's gonna be a 10-year pineapple rum. Our master blender, she is infusing 10-year barrels, going piña from like an hour away. So for 2 months in the barrels, and then that's how we get the sabor from the piña.
That's amazing.
So with this, you're definitely gonna get a little bit of that tartness, but with the pineapple rum, it's gonna be a 10-year rum. So it is gonna have a little bit more body, almost like a brulee pineapple piece.
Oh
That's what
gosh.
I get, yeah. So you'll definitely get those notes on the back end.
Oh, wow.
What I like about our rum is that super approachable. It's not gonna be in your face.
Yeah.
It's beautiful to highlight specifically this rum because it is from my father's homeland, or Salvador, and we were able to talk about the land, which is beautiful. And in El Salvador, everything grows everywhere. It's such a beautiful, rich soil, that feeds us, which is really awesome. And then we also have a female master blender. There's so many things that men make, but to have a spirit, that women are helping out with, and we just try to highlight that in the stories and the culture, in a glass.
Yeah.
Growing up in LA, you always hear about like Mexicans everywhere. And I'm half Mexican, right? There's always that weird tension that we don't even know where it came from. How like Mexicans and Salvadorans never get along. So when I was younger, I would just say I'm Mexican. I wouldn't really say I was Salvadoran. As I gotten older, I'm just like, fuck that. We gotta talk about who we are, embrace who we are, cultures, traditions, like how we talked about. After my dad passed away, it's kind of like me trying to connect with him. That's the way I kind of view it still. Yeah, it's so interesting to lose a parent to, alcoholism, and I'm over here selling a Salvadoran rum. It's been very, very eye-opening. Feels like I almost did like a 180, mentally, in a good way. But my goal is to highlight the spirit, but also we don't have to get fucked up. We don't have to like keep knocking back shots or something. I think it's going to be an ongoing thing for life to not overindulge, so.
What is your dad's name?
Juan.
Juan.
So we have the same name, Juan Antonio.
Let's have a toast to Juan.
Yeah.
Tony brings an important point of view to a conversation that is rarely had. As we're sharing this moment, Tony recommends visiting Adri and learning more about her modern take on Salvadoran-inspired drinks. This idea of Salvadoran flavors in cocktails is intriguing, and I'm curious to taste one. Hey, Adri, ¿cómo estás?
Bien, gracias.
You have 2 drinks that I know one of them has curtido in it, in the actual liquid, but then you've done something really cool with how you've prepared it. And you called it Cuscatlan.
The name is from El Salvador. I haven't been to El Salvador, but my family's from there, so it's just kind of like a little way to kind of bridge that gap in between something that I know here in LA to something that I haven't been to back home.
Can I try the curtido powder? Oh my gosh! Who taught you this curtido recipe that you use as a foundation for the drink?
I kind of taught myself.
Okay.
Obviously, I've gone out and had pupusas and curtido and things like that before, but I didn't really have them growing up. So I kind of just took what I've learned from being out and about and just like reading about it online, and then kind of just made my own.
Oh my gosh. That is so good. So who was someone that you kind of confided and be like, hey, is this good?
Honestly, I think I talked to Tony about this drink.
Oh yeah?
I was like, hey, I have this cocktail. it has this and that. I want you to try it. Because he's always really supportive about me wanting to involve myself more in this culture. I did have certain parts of my family on that side when I was younger, and some people were missing from my lives. They weren't exactly there. And so the parts that I did have were kind of negative. So I feel like doing stuff like this and kind of growing up and wanting to be more connected to it, it did make me feel more connected. Almost in every culture, like your grandma's cooking and she's making all this food and she's doing all these things, and those are like the things that you remember the most. It's like, oh, this is so good, and these are so like delicious, and I was so happy eating, you know. But I think besides those, like there was so much more to that culture that I missed. And so now I'm trying to like bring that back to my life so that it is important to me, and so that I can be familiar with it and it could live with me, because I didn't really get to have that when I was younger.
Yeah. I feel like you have this scope of knowledge that when I think about Salvadoran food thriving in LA, I am embarrassed to say I didn't think of what bartending and Salvadoran food could be. So what has that experience been like, being a Latina, Salvi Mexicana in, you know, the bar industry here in LA?
I think the past couple of years it's been such a change, especially seeing other women behind the bar. I don't know, I'm getting emotional.
That's okay. It means a lot to you, I can tell.
I think it's important to talk about it, and it's important to embrace it, because it has been hard and it's going to be hard. And I think the more people that try to change and make a difference, the easier it becomes for others who decide to do the same journey that we had. So I'm starting a peer-to-peer educational group for women in the industry. It's called FLAG, so it's female-led association and guidance, and it's basically going to provide kind of a support system for women behind the bar, and it's going to provide education for those who are either like intermediate to, you know, advanced and have been in the industry for a while. And I want to focus on making sure that we have a support system and are being taught things that we need to know in order to succeed in our profession.
The efforts to support women in these spaces are crucial. Adri is a prime example of this, and it's inspiring to say the least.